Hello guys, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 18th of December 2020. You can see here the two best images of the day, but today we will discuss 9 to 10 very important and the most important current affair. So watch the video till the end. But before proceeding, I want to discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription, that you can buy our Affairs Cloud subscription with two methods. You can visit our website, that is affairscloud.com/current affair, or you can directly go to the description box of this video. Under the description box, there is a link of subscription. You can directly click on that link and visit the subscription area. What you will get in the subscription? You will get the daily wise PDF, and in the daily wise PDF you will get the two PDFs. One is related to the theoretical current affairs of particular day. Second is the theoretical current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer, also in the PDF form. So it is very important because you will get the current affair in the form of question and answer. Next is the weekly PDF, all the current affairs arranged according to the week so that you can revise the current affair week wise. Next is the weekly test. It is very important to evaluate yourself that how much current affair you can retain for long time period. Next is the monthly PDF section, guys, and it is the most important section because in the monthly PDF we are providing you 5 PDFs. One is related to the theoretical current affairs of the month. Second is related to the question and answer PDF. It means all the theoretical current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer. Next is the pocket PDF, very important to revise the current affair quickly. Next is banking, finance and the economy PDF, very important for those aspirants who are preparing for banking exam. And last but not the least, that is the PDF top 100. It means top 100 current affairs will be provided to you of particular month, and these current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer so that you can revise and retain for long time period, especially 100 current affairs. That is the most important current affairs of the month. So this all things comes at very minimal cost. And on that minimal cost, we are providing you 10% extra discount. If you want 10% extra discount, then you can use this code ASH10 ASH10 and you can get the 10% discount on that minimal cost, guys, on that minimal cost. And these current affairs are available in English as well as in Hindi. So let's start today's current affair, 18th of December, and here is our first section, that is the most important question section. So firstly, we will do the most important questions. Next, we will do very important question. Third, we will do important questions, and last we will do the question and answer of the particular day, that is the question of the day. So let's start our first section, and first question is, Olympic Council of Asia selected which country to host Asian Games 2030 and 34 respectively. I am talking about Asian Games, this is the main keyword, and Asian Games of 2030 and 34 will be hosted by which country? So you can pause the video and give me answer. And 2030 will be hosted by Qatar and 2034 will be hosted by Saudi Arabia. So remember, Qatar's capital is Doha. The examiner can ask the capital also. So remember, 2030 will be hosted by Doha and 2034 will be hosted by Saudi Arabia, or you can say the Riyadh. So remember this is the most important question of the day, that Asian Games 2030 will be hosted by Doha and 2034 will be hosted by Riyadh. And you have to also remember 2022 will be hosted by China, 2026 will be hosted by Japan. You can see here Doha 2030 and Riyadh 2034. You can also see here, Qatar will also be hosting the FIFA World Cup of 2022. You can remember this also because this is again most important point. Qatar will host 2022 FIFA World Cup 2022. And you can see here, 2022 Asian Games will be hosted by China. That exact place is Hangzhou. And 2026 by the Nagoya, Japan. 2030, you all know, Doha, Qatar. 2034, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. You can remember this point also. Qatar is very important country here. Qatar is very important. Why Qatar is important? Qatar's capital is very important. That is Doha. You have to remember the name of the Prime Minister of Qatar. Prime Minister is Khalid bin Khalifa. Remember, Khalid bin Khalifa, only the initials of the name, Khalid bin Khalifa. And you have to remember one more important thing. The first Asian Games were conducted in 1951. The first Asian Games conducted in 1951. This is again very important thing. So let's move to next question. G. Kishan Reddy inaugurated first of its kind establishment, National Center for Divyang Empowerment, in which state? So two things are important under this question. One is this keyword, National Center for Divyang Empowerment, and second thing, G. Kishan Reddy. G. Kishan Reddy is currently Minister of State under the Home Ministry. You have to remember this. And second, this National Center for Divyang Empowerment. And this is opened in Telangana. So remember, the answer is Telangana and exact place is in Hyderabad. It is the capital of Telangana. You can remember Hyderabad is the answer. You can see here, National Center for Divyang Empowerment inaugurated at CRPF Group Center in Hyderabad. You can see here also, National Center for Divyang Empowerment in CRPF Group Center in Hakimpet, Hyderabad. If you belongs to Telangana, then you have to remember the exact place in Hyderabad. Otherwise, no need to remember the exact place. You have to just remember the Hyderabad. Hakimpet is the exact place. The center has been set up for reskilling and rehabilitation for Divyang warriors of the CRPF who sustained life-threatening injuries in the line of duty. Because according to CRPF, 189 personnel have lost their limbs or undergone amputation during the last decade, like in 2010 to 20. So many people basically lost their limbs or the undergone amputation. So this is very huge loss for the CRPF. So just they want to reskilling. They just want to provide the skills to these Divyang warriors so that maximum to maximum utilization can be possible. So it is very important and it is a very kind of work by the CRPF and the Ministry of Home Affairs. The center will impart training to the Divyang warriors in artificial intelligence, cyber security, warfare, and data analytics. It means you can just see here that these Divyang warriors will now equip with the new technology so that their life can be easy in the next term. The NCD will also focus on the promotion of para sports and will be developed as a center of excellence so that they can show the interest in the para sports and they can grow in the para sports also, and will be developed as a center of excellence. It means this center for the Divyang empowerment will be developed as the center of excellence in the future. So 2 or 3 things are important under this question. One is the National Center for Divyang Empowerment. It is in Telangana and exact place is Hyderabad. And who inaugurated? G. Kishan Reddy. He is currently the Minister of State Home Affairs. You have to remember this. And third thing, it is related to the CRPF personnel. It is related to CRPF personnel. And who is currently the Director General of CRPF? AP Maheshwari. You have to remember this also. AP Maheshwari. Where is the headquarters? That is New Delhi. New Delhi. Now we are moving to next question. Which zoological park in India has become the first to acquire ISO certificate, that is International Organization for Standardization 9001-2015 Quality Management Standard certification? Most important question, guys. You have to remember this. And what is the name of this zoological park? Zoological park is Nehru Zoological Park. You have to remember the name. Nehru Zoological Park is first in India who became the first to acquire ISO certificate of 9001, that is 2015 Quality Management Standard certification. You can also see here this Nehru Zoological Park belongs to which state? Again, this state is Telangana and exact place is Hyderabad. So nothing in the news. You have to just remember the place, that is Telangana and the Hyderabad. Nehru Zoological Park get this certification. And the organization here is important, that is ISO, International Organization of Standardization. Where is the headquarters? That is in Geneva, Switzerland. You have to remember this also. Now we are moving to other question. Where will be the headquarters of India's first Maritime Theatre Command? Mark under the most important section. It is the first time that India's first Maritime Theatre Command will be inaugurated in 2021. Now the decided place, where will be the headquarters of this Maritime Theatre Command? The place is, you have to remember this. This is important, guys. This is Karnataka. This is Karnataka. You can see here the MTC will be first new geographical theatre command, maritime theatre command to take shape next year. It means it will be inaugurated in 2021. You can see here Navy Vice Chief Admiral G. Ashok Kumar, India's first maritime theatre command, will get its final shape in 2021. It will be the first new geographical theatre command to be created as a part of military reconstruction plan. So why they are creating this geographical theatre command? It is to basically increase the security of India's coastline, India's islands and Indian Ocean region. You can see here that they will basically protect this 7516 kilometer, exactly 7516.6 kilometer of coastline. This is the India's total coastline length, and 1382 islands and Indian Ocean region, because they just want to tackle the dominance of China in that area. The objective behind Creation MTC is to build an integrated land, sea, air fighting machinery. It means to collaborate all the machinery of the defense, like land, air and the sea. Headquarter of MTC will be set up at Karwar Naval Base. You have to remember, if you belongs to Karnataka, especially for those students, Karwar Naval Base, Karnataka, and will be headed by the Vice Admiral. It means who will be the head of this theatre command? That is Vice Admiral G. Ashok Kumar will be the head of this naval command in 2021. So remember, it will be the first MTC of India. It means Maritime Theatre Command of India, and its headquarter will be in Karnataka. So remember this. This is very important question, guys. Mark under the most important section. Most important section. And guys, it is a must question because Karnataka is very famous. Why Karnataka is famous? There is a Bandipur National Park. Bandipur National Park. There is a Kudremukh National Park, very important, Kudremukh National Park. There is a Nagarhole National Park. You have to remember these information. This is very important. Bandipur National Park, Kudremukh National Park, Nagarhole National Park, very important national parks. There is a Tumkur iron ore mines, there is one most important thing, that is the Kolar gold field is also in Karnataka. Kolar gold field. Remember these information. These are very important questions which are coming nowadays. Remember this. Now, moving to next question. Who won Young Championship of the Earth 2020 prize from India, from Indian side? Because this award is presented to the seven persons. So that's why it is very important who won from the India side, because examiner not ask from China, from different countries, but examiner will ask from India. So remember, Young Championship of Earth award won from India side by Vidut Mohan from India side, that is Vidut Mohan. And remember guys, this award is annually awarded by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, to seven entrepreneurs whose age is less than 30 years, whose age is below than 30 years, who have bold ideas for sustainable environmental change, Remember, UNEP, this organization basically awarded this prize to seven entrepreneurs. And this award from Indian side won by the Vidut Mohan. The name of the firm of Vidut Mohan is Takachar. So remember, Takachar, C-H-A-R, T-A-K-A-C-H-A-R. And he basically inaugurated, or you can say established the harvesting value from agricultural waste, so that how you can use the agriculture waste in the form of the manure. So this is the basic vision of the Vidut Mohan. That's why he received this prize, Young Championship of the Earth. You can see here, Indian entrepreneur Vidut Mohan features in the list of UNEP announced 7 recipients. Young Championship of the Earth Award 2020, and it is given by the United Nations Environment Program. And remember, where is the headquarters of United Nations Environment Program? That is in Nairobi, Kenya. And who is the executive director? Inger Anderson. Remember, Inger Anderson or the Inger Anderson. Now we are moving to the next question, because other categories are not so much important, because there are 6 more categories from different countries, but you have to remember from the Indian side only. Now we are moving to next question. Who is elected as the Vice President of Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union? Mark under the most important question, or very important, it is your choice, but it is the most important question, that who is elected as Vice President of Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. I am giving you hint that he is currently representing, or you can say he is currently the CEO of Prasar Bharati. So pause the video and give me answer, or after that you can match with my answer. Answer is, guys, very simple, Shashi Shekhar Vempati. Shashi Shekhar Vempati, he is elected as the Vice President of Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. Ibrahim Aaron, you can see in the third option, he is elected as the President of this organization, Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. You have to remember one more important thing. He is the first Turk or the first Turkish who elected as the President of the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. Ibrahim Aaron. And you know SM Vaidya. SM Vaidya is elected as the Vice President of World World Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association. So you have to remember this. World Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association first vice president is SM Vaidya. So remember these things because you can relate one question to the other questions also. So the answer of this question is very simple. That is Shashi Shekhar Vempati. You can see here, he is currently the CEO of Prasar Bharati. Shashi Shekhar Vempati elected as the Vice President of Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. And guys, you have to remember one more important thing, that he is elected for the time period of 3 years. He is elected for the time period of 3 years, and time period will start on 1st Jan 2021. It means on the new year, the time period will start on the 1st Jan 2021. And guys, where is the headquarter of Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union? Headquarter is in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Remember only this thing, headquarter is in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Now we are moving to the very important question section, and here is our first question. Which organization launched a $9 billion vaccine initiative, the Asia Pacific Vaccine Access Facility? So most important keyword is this facility, that is known as Asia Pacific Vaccine Access Facility. Why this type of the facility is built by this organization, and that huge amount is invested under this facility. And this organization is ADB. You have to remember it is the Asian Development Bank. All you know, Asian Development Bank is established in 1966. Total member countries are 68. You have to remember this, including India. Who is the president? Mast Sugu. Remember, Mast Sugu is the president. And you have to remember one more important thing, the headquarter is in Manila, Philippines. Now let's discuss about why this type of the facility is built by the Asian Development Bank, that is known as Asia Pacific Vaccine Access Facility. So you can see here, ADB launches $9 billion. You have to remember this amount. APVAX for developing countries. Remember, this is not for the developed countries. It is only for the developing countries which are member of the ADB. You can see here, the facility will help its developing member economies to procure and deliver an effective and safe coronavirus disease vaccine, so that everyone in the developing country can receive this vaccine in a phased manner, and not only the prosperous people or the you can say the developed countries acquire these type of the medicine. So it should be the equitable distribution, and this is started by the Asian Development Bank. So main purpose to help members to access the distribute of the COVID-19 vaccine. So the most important thing, Asian Development Bank is not launched this type of the facility for all global world. It is only for the members of the Asian Development Bank, and WHO is also supporting this type of the facility. So you have to remember the one most important keyword here is the Asia Pacific Vaccine Access Facility. So by the Asia, you can remember it is the Asian Development Bank. Now we are moving to next question. What is the name of Indian Space Research Organization Dedicated Space Situational Awareness Control Center? It means ISRO recently launched Space Situational Awareness Control Center in the campus of the ISRO in Bengaluru. And what is the name of this Space Control Center? Space Situational Awareness Control Center. And the name is, guys, NETR. Remember, name is NETR. So guys, what is the full form of NETR? The examiner can ask this. Network for Space. Remember, Network for Space Object Tracking and Analysis. NE stands for network. Remember, NE stands for network for space object. TR stands for tracking. A stands for analysis. So remember this. I am repeating again. Network for Space Object and Tracking and Analysis. You can see here, ISRO sets up dedicated control network for space situational awareness, that is known as NETRA. You can also see here, the main objective of NETRA is to protect Indian space assets which are already basically in the space from the Indian side. Indian space assets from space debris, close approaches and collisions. It means this will check that how many objects are coming and how many objects are colliding and what is the situation of Indian assets in the space. And this NETRA is Network for Space Object Tracking and Analysis and Dedicated Space Situational Awareness Control Center at ISTRAC, ISRO Telemetry Tracking and Command Network, which is already in the campus of the Bengaluru of ISRO. So remember, it is in the Pune, Bengaluru. Only America, Russia and the Europe continent have similar SSA capabilities to track space object and share collision. It means India is the third country basically. Why I am saying third country, not the fourth? Because Europe is not basically a country, it is a continent. So remember, America, Russia and the you can say India are the three countries who have this space situational awareness program, which can closely see or can approach these type of the things which can basically give information about the Indian space assets. That's why its name is Nitra, because it can see the Indian space assets which are deployed in space from India side. And America, Russia and the Europe have similar SSA capabilities. So you have to remember. And who inaugurated this? One and only person, guys, chairman of ISRO. Chairman of ISRO is K. Sivan. Remember, K. Sivan. And where is the headquarters of ISRO? Bengaluru, Karnataka. Very simple question. Now we are moving to next question. Federation of Automobile Dealers Association announced partnership with which company to reduce the digital skill gap in India's auto dealership sector? So it is a new kind of thing. That's why I marked under the very important section. You can mark under the very important or in the important section also. Why this is very important? Because it is the first time that auto dealership sector will get some skills related to the digital or the new things which are coming in market, especially in the data analytics and the artificial intelligence. And this is started by the Google. It is started by the Google because a program is launched by the Google, that is Grow with Google. So by this, they will provide the skills to the auto dealerships so that they can reduce the gap of the digital skill area, so that maximum development of these auto dealership can be increased. You can see here. ASDC, that is Automotive Skill Development Council. Second is Federation of Automobile Dealer Association. Next is the Google for India. They will bridge digital skill gap in auto dealerships. You can also see here the training program is also known as the Grow with Google initiative. You have to remember this keyword. The main focus of the partnership is to empower Indian dealers through adoption of digital tools, that new tools and platforms to engage with customers in the post-COVID-19 era. It means by the post-COVID, or you can say the currently going on situation, so many industries are basically down due to the COVID-19, especially the automobile industry. So that's why they just want to train these dealers that can use maximum to maximum artificial intelligence tool, digital tool, so that they can reach the customer in very specific manner. The initiative will provide digital skill training to 20,000 auto dealerships and 1 lakh auto dealers across the marketing and sales division. So remember, 20,000 auto dealers and 1,000 auto dealers across the marketing and the sales division, so that they can be skilled to reach the person in very specific and the very safe manner. So this is basically initiative of the Google. So guys, don't remember these two organizations. These are not important. Just remember a new dealership tie-up goes with the Google. And Google Chief Executive Officer, you all know, that is Sundar Pichai, and headquarters is in California, USA. And who is the manager and the vice president of Google India? Sanjay Gupta. But don't remember, just remember the Chief Executive Officer Sundar Pichai, Google. Move to our next question. Yes Bank partner with which card provider as a payment processor to enhance salaried and Yes First account holders payment experience? It means Yes Bank want to improve the new experience of the salaried person and Yes First Bank account holder, so that new technology can be initiated. And this is started by the Yes Bank and the Visa. Remember, Yes Bank and Visa. You can see here, Yes Bank partner with Visa to introduce new line of the E-Series debit card. Remember, E-Series means electric, elevate, emerge, enhance, and so kind of. This is the E-Series of debit card. These are very much safe if you are comparing with the older cards. These E-Series cards are very much safe because these details cannot be easily captured, while if you are using this this cards in the ATMs or the POS point of sale terminals. It means these are very much safe because older cards have something not very special, because they can be traced or can be easily captured while using the ATMs or the POS terminals. But these cards cannot be captured while using in ATMs and the POS terminals. So that's why these are the safer mode. And remember, it is the E-Series cards, and it is started by which bank? It is started by the Yes Bank and the Visa. So remember, Yes Bank headquarters is in Mumbai, very important bank. Tagline is experience or expertise. And managing director and chief executive officer is Prashant Kumar. It was incepted in 2004. Remember, incepted in 2004. And you know about Visa. Visa's headquarters is in California, United States. Chairman and CEO is Alfred F. Kelly. Remember, Alfred F. Kelly Jr. Remember, Junior Alfred F. Kelly. Move to next section. It is the important question section, and here is our first question. And violence against sex workers is annually celebrated across which day? Across globe on which day? Mark under the important section. So guys, why is this day is celebrated? It is just to remember the people who lost their lives due to violence and stigma faced by the sex workers across the globe, and it is celebrated across the globe on the 17th of December. Remember, 17th of December. You can also see here 2020, 17th December, 17th International Day to End Violence Against Sex Workers, that is on 17th of December. So guys, now we are moving to the last section, and after that we will discuss the question of the day and the question of the last day answer and one-liner important points. First is the India to have 350 million 5G connections by the 2026, the Ericsson Mobility Report 2020. So this is just a estimation that India will have 350 million 5G connections by the year of 2026, and there is no 5G in 2020, but they are predicting in 2026. So it is the Ericsson Mobility Report. Ericsson is a Sweden-based company. Next is Ministry of Home Affairs approves 90.6 crore to Land Ports Authority of India for new ICP in Tripura. So remember, new integrated check post is developing in Tripura, and it is in between India and Bangladesh. So when it will be inaugurated, we will cover this point, but you can remember that a new integrated check post is developing in Tripura. It is in between India and Bangladesh. Next is Indian Embassy in Beijing, China has launched, most important question, that is CinemaScope. Remember this CinemaScope, exclusively for the members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And it is launched by Indian Embassy in Beijing, it means in China, has launched this CinemaScope. Why they are launching this type of the event, or the, you can say, filmographic event, because the name is CinemaScope. Indian Embassy will launch more than 24 films, more than 24 Indian films basically, will be dubbed in Russian, and screening will continue till India's chairmanship of SCO, that is Council of Head of States, meeting in 2023. So one most important question we are reading here, that India will get the chairmanship of SCO, of Council of Head of States, in 2023, and the movie series will coincide with the SCO Year of Culture. It means 2021 is declared as the Year of Culture by the SCO. So remember this is a very vital information. You can mark under the important section or the most important section. Next is the New Development Bank inked 1 billion loan agreement with Government of India for economic revival, because so much slowdown is going on due to COVID-19. So that's why New Development Bank, or the BRICS Bank, is providing $1 billion as a loan agreement to the Government of India. Next, India UK to set up joint task force for mutual recognition of academic qualification. Not so much important, but you can remember the name of the country, that they are just basically recognizing the academic qualification of both the countries, like India and the UK. So the examiner only can ask the name of the country, that is United Kingdom. Next, World Bank approved $68 million to Nagaland enhancing classroom teaching and resources project, because so much tribes are there in Nagaland, so they need some fund, and it is the World Bank who is providing this type of the fund to the Nagaland to enhance the classroom teaching, so that maximum to maximum education can take place due to COVID-19 situation. So they just want to increase educational level of students for the particular state, Nagaland. So the examiner only can ask that Nagaland get the funds for the classroom teaching, and which organization is providing fund? Answer is the World Bank. So remember this. So this is the important things under the one-liner important section. Now we are moving to the answer of the 17th of December 2020 question. What was the question? Question was, India's financial year 21 GDP to contract by how much according to SBI's ECRO-RAP report? So it is the SBI who is predicted 10.9%, that is minus 10.9%, but recently SBI reduced India's contraction. So mark under the most important question, because it is SBI who is predicting India's GDP in the financial year of 21. And answer is minus 7.4. It means India's GDP will contracted by minus 7.4. Who are answering minus 10.9? Because I'm reading your comments, and I read some comments that who are the students are answering minus 10.9%. That is wrong, because it was earlier prediction of SBI, but now SBI is predicting minus 7.4%. Now we are moving to the question of day, that is 18th of December question of day, and here is the question. Who is known as the father of the fiber optics? Or the question can come, who coined the term of fiber optics in 1956, recently passed away. Recently this person died, known as the father of fiber optics. Or termed the coin of fiber optics in 1956. So these are the 4 options. So I'm requesting you, all the students, that you have to give me answer in the comment box, because I am reading all the comments that are positive, negative, all the comments I am reading, and I am implementing the good things which are you suggesting. So guys, answer in the comment box especially. Thank you guys. And please subscribe our channel. So there is a button in downhole, so you have to remember that you have to subscribe this before quitting this video. And please provide 700 plus likes so that we can grow more and we can provide you more videos on the different content. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section, definitely, because 90% questions which are coming in your exams are covered by our videos and the PDFs. This is the special thing of the Affairs Cloud. And guys, please press the bell button so that you can receive the video on time. Thank you guys for watching this video. Take care. Be happy always, because by the happiness you can create anything. Thank you guys. Take care. Goodbye.